As you have recognized, I'm not Fabio. However, I didn't want to disappoint you, so I tried to catch a plane to the Via Veneto to Rome to get this nice Italian accent Fabio has always got in his talks. However, unfortunately, I had to move here, but now you are in the happy situation that perhaps I might tell you something about asymptomatic tricuspid regurgitation in left heart surgery. So should we repair it or should we leave it alone? Just to be honest with you, these are my conflicts of interest. So I'm pretty much sure that every one of you working on a daily basis in the cardiac OR has got an image in the mind of like this. So you have a severely dilated left and right ventricle, you have dilated atria, and you have a mitral valve regurgitation, and you have to cure for this like going for a cabbage or a mitral valve replacement. And then you perform the TOE and you're happy with you have learned a lot today, and then by incidence you find this more or less tricuspid regurgitation jet, and you telling the surgeon about this, and then the discussion goes on. So how should we deal with such incidental findings? So we have to talk, of course, about tricuspid regurgitation. And most of the TR is a physiologic one, mostly mildly, and we do not have to care about this. 25% of all TR is primary, or let's say organic, and here Morbus-Eckstein, the endocarditis or carcinoid syndrome, Hedinger syndrome are one of the most prevalent pathophysiologies. However, the most part, nearly 75%, are so-called secondary or functional tricuspid regurgitations. And they develop from enlargement of the right atrium and the right ventricle by pulmonary hypertension, mostly pulmonary venous hypertension due to a left heart disease, as you have guessed from the topic of this talk, and of course a lot of left ventricular dysfunction. What are the mechanisms behind the tricuspid regurgitation? And this is quite easy because it's the same when you look for the mitral valve regurgitation, and the Carpentier classification is already used here. So you have three types. One type is that you have a normal leaflet motion and you have a regurgitation due to a perforation, let's say endocarditis, or you have an annulus dilatation. The second one is that you have an excessive leaflet motion due to prolapse or flail or a chordal rupture, and the third one is that you have a restricted leaflet motion due to rheumatic fever, sclerosis, or due to tethering aspects when you have a RV dilation. I'm pretty much sure you all know the recent recommendations to classify TR on echo. These are the recommendations by 2010 by Lancelotti, and there are a lot of things published. However, don't want to go too much into detail. When you compare these findings with the MR classification, it's much more in doubt what to use on a direct screen. So I would like you to promote that perhaps just a semi-quantitative evaluation of the color flow jet of the vena contracta, and I think this is most important, of the hepatic vein flow, because this is a functional result of any tricuspid regurgitation where you have backwards flow and nearly congestion. And here, just to have a short quick overview, you see here a small and a large vena contracta, and you see here this normal hepatic vein flow, and here a systolic reversal. I think these are very helpful in clinic, even when you have to judge the hemodynamic functionality of an incidental tricuspid regurgitation. So, when we come to the functional tricuspid regurgitation, we have to speak about pathophysiology. So, most of all starts with the left-sided cardiac pathophysiology, and mostly it's mitral valve regurgitation. This provokes pulmonary venous hypertension, leading to enlargement of the right-sided heart. And this leads then to functional tricuspid regurgitation and to RV dysfunction. This, again,